Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to another Q8 pilot stream. It is 1700 Zulu, 2000 hours local time. Welcome everyone in chat. We have with us Boeing Corp Mike, Stefanos, Dougal McTavish, Redneck, Roy Van Ken. Welcome aboard. Was it Waak? Welcome aboard. Live Brian from the USA, welcome aboard. Renan de Oliveira, and we have also EG Simulations Live, welcome aboard. Glad to have you guys all here. And today, ladies and gents, we are going to be taking a look at the recently released iniBuilds Airbus A350. Obviously, this aircraft has been long anticipated since its announcement, and there has been some, quote unquote, some political talk going around, which we're going to be addressing today, and I'm going to give you my honest feedback on the aircraft, on this add-on, and everything that's going on in the flight sim world today. But first, let's go ahead and click on Ready to Fly here, and we are going to conduct a walk-around tour of this aircraft. And I have to say right off the bat that the texturing of this aircraft and the 3D modeling is of the highest order. This is probably one of the best aircraft created by iniBuilds, and for obvious reasons. And we're going to begin here just by a quick walk around of the exterior of the aircraft. We're going to take a look here at those rather beautiful engines. Look at the details, fine details all along this 3D model. You can see the inlet here, and the texturing overall is just done to perfection, really. Kudos to the entire development team at iniBuilds, and congratulations to them on the development of this aircraft and its release. Though I have to say that the release has not been, error-free, and there has been a lot of issues with this aircraft, including performance issues. Again, you can look at the detailing here on the texturing. Is just amazing. Really amazing work. I suppose that they have taken real photos of the aircraft. The landing gear area is my favorite from the exterior part. It's so detailed, and it's all in high res. Look at those wheels and all the details here. I really like what they've done here. Again, you can see even the brand, the Bridgestone, is it? Bridgestone, that's the brand of the tires. You can look at all the bolts. Just the detailing is insane on the modeling of the aircraft. Really job very well done in terms of the exterior modeling and the texturing. The attention to detail is really exquisite. Again, we can take a look here at the wing. Now, I have had the pleasure of a real encounter with an A350 at the Kuwait Air Show about a couple of years ago, and let me tell you, this aircraft is huge in real life. It is massive, and those landing gears are massive, and I think iniBuilds have captured everything to the neatest, greediest detail to recreate an authentic replica of the A350 in terms of the 3D modeling. Very nicely done. I really like what they've done with this A350. And the nice thing is we've got something to compare this aircraft to. We have the 10-year-old now Flight Factor A350, which has received updates, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Of course, we cannot compare the two aircraft. This is a brand new aircraft using the latest and greatest technology, and the Flight Factor is a dated aircraft, really. But I have to commend the team at iniBuilds for the amazing work on the 3D modeling and the texturing. As you can see here, again, fine details all in every spot, at every inch of this aircraft. You can see it here. So we are still in walk-around mode. And by the way, nice trick for you guys. When you're in the walk-around mode, if you click on the backspace, you'll actually see your avatar. So that's the kind of the pilot that you've created, and you can walk with the pilot, and you can run and do all sorts of things. But again, I'm not really interested in those things. So again, just really a quick look here at the external model. We're going to take a look more at that once we are well into the flight. Again, look at the details. You look at the grills, the decals, the little stickers. Everything has really, really been done to perfection in terms of the 3D modeling and the texturing. Here again, we can see the nose gear. Again, look at the fine details, even the print, everything is in high res. Nice touch there by adding the iniBuilds logo there. Just all around a beautiful 3D model, very authentic. Look at the lights here. Just amazing, just really, really amazing. The texturing is really of the highest order. I cannot commend it enough. It's just fabulous. All right, with that done, can we open the flaps and panels? We'll take a look at all the features in just a second here. How are you, Alex? Glad to have you here with us this evening. And we have with us Rubber Duck 05. Takeoff from Kuwait. No, today we're taking off from Los Angeles International. Our flight here, just very quickly, we are departing today Los Angeles International to Las Vegas, Nevada. It's a short flight, but we're going to be cruising at 29,000 feet, but it should be sufficient for us to expose all the aircraft features. All right, now looking at the interior, I can say exactly the same thing about the interior, just exactly the same stuff that we said about the exterior, we can say about the interior. I'm not sure why the speed brake seems to be, let me just put this here. All right, so you can see again, the texturing is really of the highest order. Let me come down here a little bit so you guys can take a better look. Look at the details there. Look at the scratches there on the panel. I mean, this is high fidelity. This is my idea of high fidelity when we're talking about texturing. And it reminds me a lot, by the way, of the work done by the fly-by-wire A380. Exquisite work, really, in terms of the textures. Very, very detailed model. And the texturing is really of the highest order. I love the cockpit. And this is very important. The cockpit is probably the single most important part of the aircraft, in my opinion, because that's where you're going to spend most of the time. So it's got to look good. It's got to look high fidelity, you know, high-res textures. Again, if you look here underneath, they've spared really no effort in detailing every part of this 3D model. Again, here, look at the panel, the radio panel. Look at the details here. Just really phenomenal work by iniBuilds. I just love the 3D model and the texturing. I think this is something that really sets the bar very, very high in terms of 3D modeling, texturing, and the overall immersion. Again, here's the overhead panel, just in exactly the same quality as the rest of the aircraft, looking very, very good. And yeah, we're going to take a look at the lighting and all that stuff in a second. Now, this aircraft ships in two variants. It ships in the 1000 and the 900 variants. That's a plus. And both variants have a number of liveries that you can download from the iniBuilds manager. Now, both of the variants can come with either a cabin or without a cabin. So I've selected the one with the cabin so that you guys can actually take a look at what iniBuilds has done. And I think they've done a really, really good job with the passenger cabin as well. So of course, we're flying the Delta livery. So you can see that everything is branded Delta. Look at the beautiful here, the beautiful modeling of the doors. They really spent a lot of time. A lot of people have flown without the, you can click here to open the curtains, which is a nice touch. A lot of folks that have flown the aircraft have flown it without the cabin just to save on FPS. I personally did not have any issues with FPS, but I've had issues with stuttering with this aircraft. But it's not very noticeable, and after the latest update, I noticed that the performance has improved. Why don't we also bring up the, let's see, let me bring up the frames counter so you guys can also take a look at what's going on here. So we're getting about 85, 84 FPS. That will improve depending on where you are in the aircraft, but you can see all the numbers here. All right, let's open the curtain here and let's go to, I don't know if this is business class or first class, but my Lord, it looks gorgeous. Very, very nicely done by iniBuilds, really. And I've been on board the A350 again at the air show, and this is exactly what I've seen. It just is amazing what they've done. Now, nothing is interactive here, and I don't really care much for the passenger cabin. It's nice to have one this detailed. Again, nice touch with opening the curtains that they kind of fold. So that's pretty cool. Again, look at the doors. Again, you can, all the instructions just exactly as you'd see them in real life. So this is really, really very fine work. The galley here where all the meals are prepared. Again, very, very nicely done by iniBuilds. Right, let's open the curtain here. This is, looks like this is maybe premium economy. And you can see the reading lights. Look at that detail. Just really very, very nice indeed. And moving to the back, this is economy class. So this aircraft has got 3 configurations: the economy, economy premium, and the business class or first class, if you will. So plane are, yeah. So finally, we can come here to the back for the lavatory, and there is additional economy class there. And then we can go all the way to the back of the aircraft. This is quite a long aircraft, being the 900 variants, but you can see that it takes a lot of passengers. And here is the cabin crew seats, and another galley here for preparing the meals and what have you. And you've got the lavatory over there. Everything really is done to perfection in terms of the texturing. I really, really like the work they've done on the texturing. Now, this aircraft does not come without issues, and from day one, it had issues. Now, I am on Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, and I am not on the beta version. I am on the release version. So this is the public release currently of Microsoft Flight Sim, and therefore, I am unable to use Navigraph charts, and I'm also unable to click on the company route to get the flight plan. So we're going to have to do things manually today. Now, I'm a bit taken back by the fact that iniBuilds has released this aircraft in this state for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, but that's a decision that they've made, probably something to do with the economics. I really don't know what made them release the aircraft in this state, but I'm a bit taken back by that. Yeah, I felt that they could have done better in terms of the final quality control before releasing this aircraft. To me, Navigraph chart integration is essential. And if you want to do this, then you have to be on the Sim Update 1 beta. I don't like to do betas. So it kind of limits, the functionality of the aircraft in 2024 in its current state. You can see now that we have 93 frames, so a bit better than the cabin. And let's get things started here. So first thing, we're going to come here to the overhead panel. We're going to turn on the external power on both of them. And this will start lighting things up here in the cockpit. You can hear the beautiful sounds. Again, I assume that the sounds are recorded from the real aircraft because they are actually phenomenal. You can see the self-test is taking place now, in progress, and the aircraft systems are coming to life. There are several things not operational without the 2024 beta installed. That's correct, yes. All right, now we can see the aircraft systems are coming up and things are looking good here. So let's go to the overhead panel. We're gonna do just a few things here on the overhead panel and then we'll come back and complete the setup. So first thing first, we're going to make sure that the batteries are on. And crew supply, oxygen crew supply. Ground control is on. We're going to move here and set the... Actually, we'll leave the ADDONS for now. We'll come to it in just a second here. All right. I'm going to perform the fire test here real quick. And let's just come here and take a look at the electronic flight bag. Now, the electronic flight bag is very well put together in my view. I think they've put in the setup of the EFB and the categorization and the layout, I think is very user-friendly. I think, again, a lot of thought has went into it. And they've got it both here in columns and they've got it horizontally here, which is pretty cool. You can also access the menu from within the flight ops menu here, which is again a pretty good option to have it in several places depending on the user preference. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to take a look here at the flight ops. This is where you can import the flight plan from SimBrief. So we're going to go ahead and click that and import our flight plan. We are a Delta 3660 departing from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. Next, we are going to go to ground, and this is where you have a visual representation of all the elements that are currently connected to the aircraft, including the ground power unit, which we've connected here. I like the fact that they have everything modeled visually, and you can click on these parts here to interact. Which is, again, very, very nice. You can also manipulate the doors and exits by clicking on the little boxes here. And you can click here to close all, toggle the slide arming. So this is the emergency slides. We'll take a look at that maybe when we arrive. And it's got really good GSX integration. Now, once you click on GSX control, I will probably do this in another flight, but it will display the GSX menu here. You will no longer be able to access this GSX menu here because it will become like a sort of like a remote control for GSX, which is pretty good. And then you can manage the entire aircraft, passengers loading and what have you, catering truck, all from within the EFB, which is a nice touch. You don't have to fiddle around going back and forth, which I think is very good work, and it's a very smart thought from iniBuilds to do it this way. Load sheet is again, you have a visual representation. We can see all the classes here. We can see this is more than likely business class, and this is a premium economy, and the rest is economy, which is pretty cool. And then we can import again from SimBrief. So now we have everything imported. We're going to click here to set the zero fuel, and you can automatically see your zero fuel is set, and set the fuel. So loading fuel, please wait, and the loading of the fuel is now complete as well. We don't have much fuel today as this is a short flight. Next, we're going to go to the operational flight plan, and now if you click here, you have the exact information from SimBrief. Summary and fuel, or the routing, the times and weights, flight log, and so on and so forth, which is pretty cool. Takeoff performance, something we'll worry about a little later. Landing performance is also available for you here. Terminal charts, unfortunately, I cannot use Navigraph charts because I'm not on the SU1 update beta, so that we will leave for now. And this is an en route map that shows exactly where the aircraft is. Okay, so with that said, let's go back here and start prepping the aircraft. We have now refueled the aircraft, so we're going to arm the emergency lights. No mobile on auto, non-smoking, and fasten seatbelt signs all on auto. We're going to come here and turn on the fuel pumps, and we're going to set the ADDONS to nav mode. There we go. And everything else here, we can test the cockpit voice recorder, and everything here looks good. Everything down here looks good, and there's nothing else that we need on the overhead panel. All right, so now time has come for us to program the MCDU. Now the MCDU is It was actually not very difficult for me to set things up simply because of my experience with the Flight Factor A350 and also the A380, which are pretty similar in the way that you set things up. So we're just going to make sure that everything is good here. We have the nav database, the current database. Then we're going to go to init. And now, unfortunately, I cannot use this company flight plan request. It will freeze the sim. So we're going to have to do everything on our own. So first, we're going to put the flight number, which is Delta. Let's see here. Delta DAL 3660, I believe. And we're going to hit enter. And then we are departing today from KLAX to enter that, and then KLAS, which is Las Vegas. I like the fact that when you enter something, it automatically takes you to the, so it sets the focus to the next box that you need to fill, which is pretty cool. The cruise altitude for the flight today is, I believe, 29,000 feet. Let's very quickly verify that. And it is 29,000 feet indeed. So we're going to enter that, 29,290, and enter. The cost index for the flight is, let me bring this here so we don't have to fiddle around with it. All right. So the cost index is 82. So let's come here and enter 82 and enter that. And then that's it pretty much. The winds. Yeah, I don't want to click on anything to do with the with company request because it seems to just freeze everything. So we'll just leave it at that. All right, so everything here is set. Next, we're going to go to the departure. And we are departing runway 24 left, 24 right. Okay, so 24 right is the departure, and the SID is the... all right, so to do that, you can use the scroll button here to move down the list, which is pretty cool. Again, all of these are functional, so I do really like that. I like the fact that a lot of it is in fact, all of it is operational. So we are going to select the Orca 5. There we go. Orca 5 is the SID, and the transition is the Myson transition. So let's see here. We have it, or Myson. There we go. And temporary flight plan, insert, and now we have everything set here. I think we can delete this discontinuity. All right, so I'm just going to delete that, and I'm going to delete manual. All right, and let's delete this one here and insert, and that's fine. We take this to plan. Yeah, it's kind of a steep turn, but that's fine. We should be fine. All right, put this back to nav. All right, let's continue now with the setup of the FMS. And next, after the, so we've done the departure. Let's go back to init. And so we've done the departure, and then we need to go to nav ID, fuel, and load. All right, let me go to actually the flight plan, and let's complete the flight plan. Okay, so first, after Mason, we go down here and take a look. Ah, it's actually the arrival into Las Vegas, so we don't really have to enter anything, which is cool. So let's bring up, no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted my Navigraph charts. All right, so we're going to click here on KLAS and select the arrival. And we're arriving runway 26 left into Las Vegas. The approach is the render 3. We'll do the ILS Yankee via... is it Bourbon? Let's take a look here very quickly. Approach, KLAS. Let's take a look. All right, so we're arriving 26 left, Yankee. That's Zulu, that's Yankee. All right, let's take a quick look here. No, we are, that's the Bourbon transition. So we're going to select Bourbon. and the star is the renders 3. All right, where is renders 3? Let's take a look here. Let's scroll down a little bit, and there we have it. All right, renders 3. Do we have a transition here? No transition. So actually it's the Meisen transition. All right, it's all right. We'll just do insert, and then we'll remove any discontinuities there. Let's go back up. All right, so there we go. So I'm going to delete this discontinuity and insert, and that should give us a nice flight path into Las Vegas. Okay, perfect. Now we can go back to init. Now we're going to go to fuel and load. And let's go here, and 0 fuel weight is... all right, we can just hit enter here. Now, the minute you enter that, it will start the announcements in the cabin.
In the overhead bin, and smaller items must be securely stowed.
You can hear it better here.
Our cabin crew is here to help.
Again, very nice.
Back from the gate shortly, so we kindly ask that you take your seat as soon as possible and clear the aisles.
All right, so there we go. So again, I love the fact that they've considered everything, and it's like a complete simulation of the aircraft. Now, the accuracy, we'll talk a little bit about that to the best of my knowledge. And block fuel, I think we can just hit enter again. All right, now passenger number is something we can get from the load sheet. So we have 239 passengers on board. So 239, enter that. Reserve fuel is something we can get here. So the reserve is 6 plus 4, about 11,000. So we're just going to put 11 and enter. There we go. Alternate fuel is, or actually we can say like 5%. Let's see if that works as well. Yeah. 5. No, that's not enough. Let's stick with the 11. All right, enter. Okay, alternate fuel. Alternate is about 7. So let's put 7 here and enter. There we go. Doesn't... All right, well, doesn't want to take it. That's fine. All right, let's clear this. Let's clear that. All right, perfect. We can already see the alignment is now complete. We can see the climb and descent profile as well, which is pretty cool. Now, everything is done here. I'm going to go ahead now and start the APU. So one thing I've noticed, and I'm kind of pretty sure about, is when you turn on the master APU switch, there needs to be a little bit of a delay before you can start the APU, and this is the time that it takes for the APU flap to open. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like this is simulated here. So if I click master switch and start, it starts immediately before the flap even opens, and I don't think that is accurate. So that is something that probably needs fixing. Again, I'm not an A350 pilot, so I don't know, but from my experience with Airbus aircraft, this is the norm with all the Airbuses that I've tried, including the A320 Phoenix, the tallest aircraft, all of them, A319, 20, 21, all of them. The flap, it takes a bit for the flap to open, and then you can turn on the master switch here, but not a big deal. Okay, so everything here is pretty much set. So we'll wait for the APU. We're going to come here and click on the constraints so we can see our constraints during the flight. We're going to set the altimeter to 10. Actually, we need 29 or 9 or 8. I've set it so that you can link those. We'll take a look at the options in just a second here. Okay. Thank you very much, Rand. Appreciate it, my friend. All right. So again, guys, today I do apologize. I will try to answer as much questions as possible, but I really want to focus on providing you with my honest feedback, review, if you will, of the aircraft. So I will be, and it will be more useful when you rewatch this, that I just go and finish the, the setup and everything without really, answering a lot of questions in chat. But I will answer your questions maybe towards the end. I will give you guys some time to ask me any questions you like. Okay, so unfortunately, by the way, I cannot go to Zoom and do the taxi because I cannot connect Navigraph charts to the aircraft because of the version of the sim I'm flying. Let's set the altitude to 29,000 feet, our final cruise altitude for the flight. Right, 29,000 is now set. And just to get an appreciation of what iniBuilds has done here, let's go and take a look at the... we need to do the perf. So let's do the perf. Now, the perf is something you can do here. If you go to the takeoff performance, and you can say sync FMS. Now that we've synced everything, we have everything in the FMS, and we're also going to sync the weather, the baro, the temperature, everything. And then thrust is set on flex, standard on, or if config 1F. So we have all of that. And we just click on compute. Once you click compute, it will automatically compute everything for you. I really like that. Again, it minimizes the workload, and it takes the guesswork out of figuring out your V speeds, which is pretty cool, especially for us, flight simmers. Maybe real world pilots have a way of calculating this, but this is very good for us. And now we can say send to FMS. Once you click send to FMS, you'll see all the numbers are coming here. You can just click on confirm, and it will put everything for you here automatically and set the flaps. You've got the THS, the takeoff THS is also set automatically for you, so you don't have to fiddle around with it. I know in the A380 by fly-by-wire, you need to set that, but here it is set automatically. Again, I'm not sure if this is true to life or this is something just kind of for simulation purposes that it's set automatically for you. So far, everything is ready here. If we look over to the overhead panel here, we can now turn on the APU bleed, and we can turn off the external power. External power 1 and 2 are off. Okay, now you can hear the air conditioning system kicking in. Again, the sounds are really done very, very well. So from the simulation perspective, if you look at the 3D modeling, they get a big check there. The sounds, big check. System simulation, I think they've done a very good job simulating the aircraft systems. We can go now to, by the way, this I'll show you now in the options. I think it's worthwhile going the options there. If we look here at the, we'll set this on the flight plan. And from the FMS1, you have the ATC comm. So, oh no. Oh, no. I shouldn't have done that. ATC comm has frozen the aircraft. Oh boy. And now you can't even go to the main menu. These are some of the things that are very frustrating with this aircraft. Is really just the number of bugs that it has. So, unfortunately, I have to restart the sim in order, and maybe also clear the WASM files in order for the aircraft to work. So your guys are going to have to excuse me. I will have to do this, and we'll do everything else quickly to get to this point without too much explanation after I come back, and then we will continue with our flights. That's a real bummer. Is this a known bug? I don't know. It's got a lot of issues. That's why I need sim update. I don't want to do beta. And they should not have released this if it wasn't ready for the public release of the sim, is my view. Otherwise, their aircraft is beta then. And yeah, I just I just don't agree with that philosophy. Anyway, let me what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you guys on the starting screen again while I restart the sim, clear the WASM folder, and come back to you guys. All right, guys. So Microsoft Flight Sim is restarting, and I thought I'll address a few things while the sim starts and while we load again into Los Angeles International. Now, I've read a few comments from the Phoenix CEO regarding the iniBuilds development about the aircrafts, and that they had plans for an A350, and that they've had also an agreement with an airline to provide them with access to a real A350 to obviously take pictures of it and to build it exactly, to the real world specifications. And this was about a year ago or so when iniBuilds have announced the A350, when Phoenix Simulations decided to then discontinue the project simply because they thought that it would not make sense to release their A350 after the iniBuilds one. But he goes on to saying that the ECAM of this A350 only provides 10% of its real-world counterpart. Now, of course, I cannot independently verify this information. That's what the CEO of Phoenix Simulation has stipulated over on their Discord, and that he was very disappointed that the flight sim community, favors a half-cooked, if you will. If you read between the lines, that's what he meant, a half-cooked product that doesn't really simulate real-world systems, as opposed to wait longer and have a completely finished product. Now, I do have the greatest respect for all developers. I have the greatest respect for the Phoenix Simulation team, but I was a little bit disappointed to have read that message. First of all, the development or the announcement or the decision, beg your pardon, of Phoenix to discontinue the project was like a year ago. So they should have actually came out then and said, look, guys, we've had, plans to do an A350 for you. But now we saw that iniBuilds are working on one. And so that doesn't make sense for us to, build another A350. So we're not going to be able to do it, or we're going to discontinue the project for whatever reason. And that's perfectly fine. That's an okay, stance, if you will. But after the aircraft actually releases, for them to come and say this, I had a little bit of a problem with it. And I'll tell you exactly why I've had a problem with it. The developers are, they work very, very hard. Now, forget about, the management of iniBuilds, forget about the management of Phoenix. I'm just talking about the developers. And when the developers read what Phoenix Simulation CEO has written, I will tell you right now, they will really feel demotivated, and that's going to really hurt them. And that is something that doesn't sit well with me, because those developers deserve, all the commendation and all the respect and all the gratitude for their hard work. So I was a little bit, disappointed to have read that message. I don't know if iniBuilds has responded at all. I haven't really been following. I saw a glimpse of it, and I don't normally like to engage in those things, but I felt that it was important to address the community there and let you guys know what my stance is on that. Now, that said, the iniBuilds have always given us very high quality aircraft, at least their A300s, the A310s, and some of their aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Now, in 2024, there are a number of default aircraft from iniBuilds. They're not all great. Their flight models are kind of, I don't know. They fly like paper. And this aircraft actually flies exactly like the A400. And I know real world pilots have said, no, this is right, this is the best flying plane, and this. With my humble experience as a flight simmer, an experienced flight simmer with over 10 years of experience creating content, I can tell you this flight model of the A350 is not right. It's just not right. It's way, way too sensitive. The real aircraft definitely does not fly this way. And this is exactly how the A400 Atlas by iniBuilds flies in the sim today. So, in all honesty, this is not the best aircraft for flight sim. It's nowhere near that. But it is a very advanced aircraft. It's very well developed, and it's got a great potential. If you ask me today, Q8, do you recommend that I purchase the A350 today? Only if you are comfortable with having crashes, having issues with the aircraft, then that's fine. If you are into going to, if you're on 2024, you want to go to Sim Update 1 Beta and load the aircraft there, definitely you'll have a lot less issues. But just be aware that this aircraft is still not 100% ready for an XP72 is in the house. How are you doing, my friend? Wow, it's very good to hear from you, man. How have you been? I just saw the chat there with the guys saying XP72. Thank you very much for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. So why is this load screen? So this is actually, it's loading into the airport, so it takes a little bit of time to load because I've deleted the WASM files. So it takes a little bit of time to rebuild the, so this is actually the clouds over Los Angeles. The sim has crashed, yeah, exactly. So, in the background, just watching your stream. Hey, XP72, man, always a pleasure to have you. XP72 is a great friend, is an excellent content creator, and a great and genuine human being. If you guys don't know XP72, you must be living under a rock. Go to his channel today, subscribe. One of the best guys for VATSIM. I really, really enjoy his streams. He's quite funny too, and he's just a genuine human being. Moderators, if you can put a link to XP72's channel in chat, I would be very grateful. So this whole thing with the Phoenix and this is just not right in my view. To sum this up, I feel that Phoenix or the CEO of Phoenix should probably put in an apology to the development team over at iniBuilds, because, by the way, what he said might be true. And maybe he's spot on everything that he said about, you know, the ECAM and what have you. But to say it now, to me, just is not right. And you should have said it like a year ago when you decided to discontinue the project. But it is what it is, guys, and hopefully it doesn't take much longer to load into the sim, because I'm starting to... there. All right, there we go. Finally. Okay, perfect. All right, so now we don't do ATC comms, okay? All right. Okay, so here we go. All right, so we are going to go straight to the flight deck here, and we're going to get things ready for our flight. We've already seen the cabin. We've seen all the good stuff there. We've seen all the textures. So let's come here and turn on the external power. There we go. External power is on. And we are going to come here to the flight menu. Very quickly here, let me show you on the options. So you've got the aircraft here. You can set the IRSs, link your instruments, which I have done. Rudder control is set to the tiller. So all of that stuff you can do here. The OIS settings is the brightness, auto EFB brightness, charts type, day and night for your charts, aircraft weighting, so the metric versus imperial units. You can set here EFB boot time. I've set this to instant so that, you know, it loads immediately. Then you got your equipment. This is managed by livery. Obviously, there are a lot of different options for different liveries. External wing hooks, chartlets. Again, this is managed by the livery. You can calibrate your throttle, the sounds, so the cabin language is selected automatically, by the way, but you can also have Arabic, which is kind of cool that you have that. I've tried this for Qatar Airways. It works pretty well. Volume control, I really like this option because this aircraft can be very loud. Third party, this is where you connect your, you know, sim brief, and I'm very happy to see that they have say intentions integration. So you can put, this is for the CPDLC, I believe, CPDLC or CLPD, something like that. So you've got that, and then you've got your simulation here, which is pretty cool. All right, so we are going to go straight to ground, and let's go to the load sheet. Actually, let's come here, flight ops. Let's import from SimBrief. And now we've got our data here. Let's go to the load sheet, import, and set 0 fuel, and set the fuel. All right, did it set the 0 fuel for us? I think it did, yeah, okay. All right, so now that we have everything here, we can go back here to the overhead panel, cruise supply, ground control, and ADDONS. And then we're going to arm the emergency lights. No mobile, no smoking, and seatbelt signs or on auto. Let's turn on the batteries here and the fuel pumps. All right, everything here is good. All right, perfect. So all the aircraft systems are now coming up, and we're going to switch this to mercury, inches of mercury, as opposed to hectopascal for European destinations. And we are going to go ahead and start the APU as well, just to kind of save time. And we're going to make sure we don't do what we've done last time, so that the sim doesn't crash. All right. Okay. So let's go to active flight. No, let's go to init, beg your pardon. And from init, we are going to say Delta 6360, and enter that. We are today flying from Los Angeles. By the way, Los Angeles is one of the handcrafted airports for 2024, and we're heading over to Las Vegas, Nevada. Enter that. Cruise level today is 290, and enter. The cost index, was it? I can't recall what was the 82. All right, so let's put 82 there. Right, 82, enter. Perfect. And then we're going to go to the departure. All right, let me put this bit on this side here. All right. So the departure is going to be runway 24 right. And the SID is the Orca 5. So again, we'll use the scroll wheel here for Orca 5. There we go. Transition is the Mycin transition. And temporary flight plan. Let's go ahead and remove this disco. And let's remove manual. There we go. Now we can remove the discontinuity. Excellent. Insert. Perfect. Let's go down to the destination. Las Vegas. Arrival. Runway 26 left. The approach is the ILS Yankee 26 left. Via Bourbon. Star is the let's see, the renders 3, and the transition is none. Insert, and we can go down here, and we're going to remove this discontinuity here, and insert, and voila, we've got the flight plan again. And now we can go to the init page that we have everything here. And now we can go to fuel and load. The zero fuel weight, again, those you can just hit enter and it will automatically put in the numbers for you. So then the PAX number was 200 something. 239. All right. Okay, 239. Enter. Excellent. And the reserve fuel is, let's take a look here. Alternate 6, that's 10, that's 11. Okay. So 11. And enter. Alternate fuel, we'll leave that alone, and everything else is pretty much set up here. Excellent. Okay. All right. So we can go now to, we'll leave that. Let's go to FMS1. We'll go to the surveillance. Is it surveillance? And we're just going to come here and we're going to turn this one here to auto. So that's your transponder, and it's currently set on standby. So we only need TARA before we depart. Okay. So everything here is set. You've got your weather control. Now, I haven't been able to see anything on the weather radar here. It is simulated here, so I'm really not sure if it actually is simulated or not. But we are not going to go to the... All right, so we need the performance data. We're not going to go to the ATC com menu. Okay, so we have everything here. Well, let's go to takeoff performance. We're going to sync, select airport. All right, so sync FMS first. All right, now we have that. Now we're going to sync the data here and compute. And now we have all the information that we need to send to our FMS, coming back to the FMS and confirm the speeds. And we have everything set here, flaps 1 for departure today. And everything now is working exactly as it should. Let's go ahead and turn on the APU bleed, and we can take the external power off. Let's set our altitude to 29,000 feet. You can now hear the air conditioning system. All right, 29,000 is set. The altimeter is set. We're going to click here for constraints. Okay, excellent. And 1 minute until alignment. Everything here is done. Everything here is done. So we don't really... All right, we need our radios. So let me go over here a little bit. All right, so VHF 1, VHF 2. Actually, let's turn that one on. And also the cabin and intercom. All right, that's done. Excellent. And now we can just wait for the APU. No, actually we can go to ground. Let's go to ground. And now we can disconnect the GPU. So very nice, again, graphical interface there to interact with the ground elements. I really like that. And now we are pretty much good here. Excellent. You can see, again, very, very nice details there on the climb and descent profile. All right, so all is good here. All is good there. And yeah, we can put this on perf. And we'll put this on flight plan. Okay. Perfect. Okay. All right. We are pretty much ready to go now. All systems are operational. Everything's looking good. And we can start the push. But before we do so, let's take again a quick look at the aircraft exterior here. Again, very, very nicely done aircraft. We've got the chocks, so we'll remove those before we go. Very nice livery, too. All right. Let's turn on the beacon lights on. And let's go ahead and push. So we're going to come back here, and looks like the chocks are... I think I saw... Ah, they are not there. Okay. So the chocks are on. I think when you turn on the beacon, it automatically removes the chocks. So that's cool. All right. So we are good. We can go ahead and click here. Pushback started. And why is this doing that? All right. Parking brake off. And here we go. Let's start the push. I think it takes a little bit of time to connect the pushback truck. There we go. Very nice modeling on the aircraft. It's a bit cloudy here in Los Angeles. All right, pushback started. And we can now start the... All right. We can start the engines. Engine start. We'll go to... I think you can start both engines together, if I'm not mistaken. But we're just going to start one after the other. Listen to the engine sounds, guys. Again, very nice sounds. It is definitely amazing to see, yes. Look at that. All right. Let's do stop. And let's set the parking brake. By the way, you can move those armrests like that, which is pretty cool. Check out those sounds, guys. By the way, the artifacts that you're seeing is because I'm using frame generation, so this is nothing to do with the aircraft, but just really beautiful modeling. All right. We have a good start. Let's go to engine number 2. We should have done the checklist, but let's go ahead and quickly do that. So the checklist is available here on the second CDU checklist menu. Before start, we've obviously done all of that. We've done all of that. The doors are closed. Parking brake as required. And then we go to after start. Anti-ice as required. ECAM status, we can go, let's just look here at the engine. The engine is just starting, so we'll wait for that. It's got, again, everything that you need to... a lot of the aircraft systems are simulated, if not all. And I really do like what they've done with this aircraft. Really a nice rendition of the A350. Again, I'm really taken back by all the issues, and I know that they have a note that says you have to have Sim Update 1, but then it should have been released or advertised as a beta for 2024 and not a full release. So that's the caveat, guys. If you are, if you are considering purchasing the aircraft, that would be my caveat to you. All right, so here we go. Menu before takeoff is next. Let's check the flight controls. Full up, full down, full left, full right. And then what else? That's done. Flight instruments are checked. Briefing is complete. Let's set our flaps. Flaps 1. And we'll arm the speed brake. Rejected takeoff. Now, the nice thing about this, when you're on the ground and you select the auto brake, it automatically sets it to RTO, rejected takeoff. If you are in the air and you click that, it will set the brakes to medium, which is pretty cool. All right, so cabin is ready. Everything here is good. We have a good start. We have our V1 V-rotate are set, and the squawk is set, and we are ready to go. Okay, perfect. So I've done all the checks here, and just very quickly, let me show you. The beautiful. Here, let me zoom out a little bit. You can see the beautiful wings here with the flap sets, flaps 1. Just really very, very nice. All right. We are ready to go, folks. And we need to tap the brakes before we can do the config, takeoff config. So we're going to turn on our taxi lights. Taxi lights are on. We can turn off the APU blitz, set the engine mode selector to norm. And APU bleed off. APU master is off. And we're good to go. Okay. Perfect. Parking brake released, and off we go. We'll give it a little power here. The aircraft doesn't seem to want to move. All right, there we go. It needed a tap on the brakes.
Just about ready for departure, and the weather en route looks generally smooth with some possible light turbulence, so we're expecting a pleasant flight. We'll keep you updated on the progress throughout the flight. In the meantime, sit back, relax, and enjoy the in-flight entertainment. Thank you.
Oof, where did I go? I always do. I get carried away with the views, so that's okay, guys. Yeah, you got. I'm sure you guys will forgive me for that. All right. The wing views are just phenomenal. Hey, KFC Turbo, how are you doing, my friend? The frames are pretty good, actually. The performance since the last update, I feel that the stuttering is a lot less. The aircraft performance is very good. It's at par, by the way, with the high fidelity aircraft, such as the Phoenix, for example. I find the performance to be very, very good. So no complaints there in terms of the performance. Yeah, I think the performance is pretty good. I just hope that they work on the fixes for all the issues. Some stuttering I've noticed here and there, but overall, pretty good performance. All right, so let's tap the brakes here, and now we can go to takeoff performance here. Takeoff. I think we need forward there. Click that once, and then we can click on. Oh, not that. There we go. Takeoff. Still not doing it for some reason. Not sure why. This is 24 left, so yeah, we'll cross to 24 right. Yeah. Right, Let's turn on the landing lights, strobes. Again, you can notice the stuttering there. Why is this not doing it? All right. So, I'm not sure why the takeoff config test is not showing. It's still showing blue. So, I'm not really sure why. We haven't really forgotten anything. All right. Well, let's go ahead and take off. And it says hold. Okay. Oh, thank you very much. You're a lifesaver. Appreciate that. Guys, look at this beauty. Very, very nice aircraft. All right, let's start the clock. One of the things I always forget. All right. All right, let's line up. All right, and here we go. 50%. Check out the engine sounds. Right, Flex 57, SRS and runway. Again, a little bit of stuttering here. Yeah, this aircraft... V1, rotate. Positive rate, gears going up. Now, it's very difficult to keep this aircraft straight because it's so sensitive. And the slightest movement of the flight yoke will cause the aircraft to violently move. So, yeah, so I don't think that is an accurate behavior, but I could be wrong. I just don't feel that it is. All right. Thrust climb. What happened here? There we go. Thrust. All right, let me worry about that in a second. Autopilot engaged. All right, thrust climb is set. And flaps retracted. Lovely flap sounds. Very, very nice. All right, and we are climbing now to 29,000 feet. Got problems with pushing back the flight factor A3. Thank you, Dougal. You don't see people welcoming on stream often. Well, I normally greet just about everyone, but not on a review stream like this, where I really like to focus on, you know, reviewing the aircraft and showing you the different features. So far, on the takeoff, we saw the stuttering. I think the aircraft still has some stuttering, so some optimizations are required for this aircraft without a doubt. And the flight model is, again, not something that I feel is correct, because this aircraft, I flew the A400 this morning just to kind of compare, and they fly exactly the same. And I know on the A400, you know, someone in chat said Oh well, that's how the real aircraft flies. I just don't think the A350 should fly like the A400, and they fly exactly the same. Flight model is definitely not, you know, not right. I feel it's not right. So, anyway. I'm not sure what this aircraft is doing. I want to go to fly direct, but I am afraid that it might mess things up. So if I go to Garma here, right, we're approaching 10,000, so landing lights off. And we can, well, all these are on auto, so nothing to worry about here. Let me go back up. All right. Right, we've just, let me see if we can go to this one here. There we go. That's better, so that we don't keep doing this loop. It seems like it has worked fine. I know on a previous flight it hasn't worked very well. Alright, so let's change the range here to 80 nautical miles. And this is a very short flight, so we're going to enter the destination information. Look at those clouds. Wow. How about that, ladies and gents? Very nice detailing on the wings. All right, now the reason you're seeing those little the cloud smoothing that you see is because I'm using DLAA, so that's why it's there. You see a little bit of artifacts, but overall, I think the overall scene looks very, very nice. The clouds are looking fantastic today. The livery is great for sure. Is it true that the A350 can fly ILS approach even on RNAV? That I cannot confirm. I don't know, to be honest. Okay, if we go to, let's clear the info here, clear that. If we go to STS, which is the status, says all systems are normal, so we're good there. And we continue our climb now to 29,000 feet. All right, so this is a very short flight. So what we're going to do is we are going to, by the way, we can come here now to the checklist menu. And after takeoff checklist, Barrow is, are we at 18? Not yet, but we'll just set them here. And we'll wait for 18,000. And then we'll begin the preparation for the arrival, because this is a rather short flight. And right after top of climb, it's about 36, I think, or 40 nautical miles before top of descent. I hope that the clouds would clear, because the route over to Las Vegas is just beautiful. So hopefully it will subside and we'll be able to see some really nice scenery as we arrive into Las Vegas, Nevada. Are your gauges blurry with DLAA? The gauges aren't blurry. There is some blur when the numbers are changing, but overall I think it's pretty good. I can change it to TAA if you guys like, but so far so good. And okay, so we're 17. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and set this to standard. All right, and now we can go to the perf page And the checklist is now complete. Okay, so let's go to the perf page, and we're going to select the approach, and then we're going to bring up Navigraph charts, and we'll put it here on the side. We're going to click on Las Vegas, click on the weather, and we can see the weather here. Let me remove that. Okay, that's better. Okay, so the weather is real weather is what we want. 26 left. Okay, Matar. All right, that's much better. Okay, so we have the winds are calm, so we're going to put here, we're going to put 0 and 0, 0 and 0. Winds are calm, so outside temperature is currently 19 Celsius. Wow, quite pleasant for Las Vegas. The QNH is 29990, 29990, and enter. And finally, the barrow. Let's go to KLAS. Our approach is 26 left. So let's click that. And let's remove the weather here so we can read our chart. So we've got 200. So 200 is set, and enter. And now we have all the information there. Let's go back to flight plan, and we are at 20,000 feet. There we go. Excellent. And if we go back to the cabin here, let me what's that? All right, let's see if I can. There we go. All right, there we go. And very nice passenger cabin. Very, very nicely done. And back in the cockpit, everything is in tip-top shape. Let's look at the sphere at KLAS. I'm not doing long haul yet until they fix a few bugs. I made a 10-hour flight at release to Miami and got the Watson crash right at approaching. Oh, that would be just really painful. Very, very painful. Yeah. So overall, I do like this iniBuilds aircraft. By the way, I've heard some streamers say that this is going to exceed the fidelity and the depth of system simulation of the Hot Start 650. I think this is an unfound statement. I don't think there is anything yet that gets even close to the fidelity of the 650 by Hot Start. There's one thing I want to show you guys here, is if you go to flight ops. No, hang on a second. There is, by the way, a full maintenance module here. We'll take a look at that. So this aircraft actually lives and breathes, and you can see the hydraulics being used, and you'll need to service your engines. So the more you fly this livery, it's livery specific. So every time you fly the aircraft, things will deteriorate, and you'll have to replace things and, you know, maintain the aircraft, which is pretty cool. Another thing is, if we go to, so this is the options, simulations. All right. So here, there is a really nice module built by iniBuilds to simulate failures and situations, which I like. So you've got depressurization, bird strike, dual engine failure, GPS jamming, and then you have a host of features that you can also engage all of these failures and for an extra challenge. So this is, again, a very welcoming addition to their aircraft. I like that. And hopefully they'll expand. Looks like they will expand on this. As you can see, there are some dimmed items saying coming soon, like medical emergency, injured or unruly passenger, and then smoke in the cabin. So that's pretty cool that they have all of these features coming for this for this iniBuilds. So overall, yes, it is a high fidelity representation of the A350, and let's. So again, if you come here, the circuit breakers aren't modeled, so that's a bit of a shame. But yeah, they're visually modeled, but you can't click them. So so again, it's an advanced simulation of the A350, but it definitely has a lot of potential. But it is at par, I think, with the Phoenix A320 in terms of the fidelity. Of course, the Phoenix has been out there much longer, so it has received a lot more optimizations and updates, and this aircraft can only get better from this point forward. When Captain Canada Blue Games claimed during their pre-release that this is the best aircraft ever, and that is also the same level as PMDG Phoenix, my mind went out of space. How much they got paid to be nice. Captain Canada Blue Games are both very good friends of mine, but yes, they are paid by iniBuilds. They are partners with iniBuilds. I am fortunately not a partner with iniBuilds. I have been in the past, but not anymore. So no, this is not the best plane ever. No, it is. I find the Phoenix to be a lot more polished than this aircraft, but again, this aircraft's just been released. I remember there were a few issues with the Phoenix when it was released as well. Hi, my friend. What do you think about the aircraft performance and FPS? Can you compare it to other aircraft in this regard? Yes. So in this regard, if I bring up the FPS counter here, I am now getting 113 FPS. This is with DLAA. Now I'm getting with the Phoenix at exactly the same flight. I was getting about 125, 130, something like that. So I think it's at par with the high fidelity aircraft that we're accustomed to, such as the Phoenix and the PMDGs of the world. It's not bad. I think that the performance in 2024 will be better, but that's going to largely depend on your system setup as well. But it's one of the best aircraft, but definitely it's not the best aircraft ever. No, that statement is unwarranted in my view, and I cannot second that assessment. It's a great add-on. It's one of the best, but not the best. Yeah, that's my honest opinion. It's disappointing, honestly, from them as big streamers. It's nowhere near close to Phoenix. Now, let's be fair, guys. There is a substantial amount of system simulation in this iniBuilds. Without a doubt, the fidelity of the texturing, the fidelity of the sounds are all at par with the Phoenix and PMDG. In fact, in some areas, I think it's better than PMDG, especially if you look at the exterior modeling, the cockpit. I think it's slightly better than PMDG, to be completely honest. But is it really better? The Phoenix, in terms of the simulation, by the way, is very, very advanced. And so this cannot be better, or the best ever cannot be. It's just as simple as that. So, but it is one of the best. And it has the potential to become better than the Phoenix, provided, of course, that the development team puts in the effort to do that. Yeah, right there, Alex. All right, let's take a quick look at the outside. What do you say? I'm glad the clouds are gone so you guys can see the scenery there. The developers definitely at iniBuilds are very, very talented. So, yeah. And here's an engine view for you guys. You can also scroll back here so you have a better view. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Now, I've noticed that even with the strobes on, you know, you don't really see the lights. So we have the strobes on. I was wondering if they were actually on or not. Here's a wing view. The clouds are just looking fantastic. Pretty cool, huh? Price-wise, I think this aircraft is priced reasonably. To be honest, I don't think it's over. I don't think the price is exaggerated. To be honest, considering the amount of work, I think it's well priced within the competition. So if you look at the other high fidelity aircraft and the amount of system simulation. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I don't think the price is too much. Now this is vertical velocity, I believe, but it should display something on the PFD, which it doesn't. So I'm not sure if actually it works or not. Let's go back to 40 nautical miles here. All right, so that's the top of descent, and we are going to be descending shortly into Las Vegas. The weather, again, is quite pleasant in Las Vegas, and I should expect a rather uneventful arrival into Harry Reid International, formerly McCarran International. At least when I used to fly to it, back in the day, it was McCarran International. All right. Yeah, you're right. Speeding gets... You're a bit biased, Alex, huh? Yeah. The sound is agreed better than PMDG. The system at surface is good enough for anyone to fly to fight it. Paying for me £60, that's a lot. It is a lot, but it's worth it, I think. Notice it had a bunch of bugs and they polished it. This one, yeah, I agree with you, Captain Rona. Yeah, I agree with you fully there. But not all streamers are sponsored in one way or another. Did you fully transition to 2024? Yes, I no longer have 2020 on my machine. I have 2024, but I do not do beta. The only sim that I will do beta for is X-Plane. Because I trust the stability of X-Plane beta releases. With Microsoft Flight Sim, it's just a shot in the dark, whether it's going to work or not. So I always like to wait for the full release. All right, we are getting now pretty close. I think this is top of descent here, as you can see. So we are pretty close to top of descent. We can, as a matter of fact, begin our descent now. No reason why we cannot do that. So let's go ahead and reset the altitude. What's the platform altitude there? The platform altitude is 3,800 feet. All right, so let's set 3,800. feet is now set, and let's begin the descent, and we're going to do a nav descent. check out those engine sounds, guys. By the way, the night lighting in this aircraft is done very, very well. Again, I will show you that once we land. And what do you guys want? Do you want me to do a replay today? Do you want me to record the arrival and do a replay? You can definitely do that. If you guys want. I need to get my 2024 on point. Still using 2020. I'm missing the better weather engine. Yeah. Lately, it seems that it has become a little better, though. That's exactly right, Dougal. I purchased all the add-ons. Yeah, I think that's very, very important. I think for any content creator today, and that would be my advice to anyone who's starting a channel, you know, you've got a small following and you want to grow your channel. One of the things that will help your channel grow is once you establish credibility with your audience, that hey, if this guy is not paying for the add-ons, then you're going to probably be biased, and there is just that part of you that says, you know, this guy has went to, or this developer has gone to the pain of providing me a free copy, and you know, he's gone to this length to provide me with a copy. I should say probably a few nice things about his add-on. Now, there were occasions, by the way, where developers have given me their add-ons to test out, especially Tolis. Tolis has given me a number of their aircraft to stream as a pre-release. And I made it very clear to Tolis that, look guys, I do appreciate the fact that you provide me with the release copy, but I'm going to speak my mind. And they said, yes, please, Q8, go ahead, speak your mind. And I was very critical of one of their aircrafts. And when I saw the developer at FS Expo, I told him, look, I'm sorry, but you know, that's what the channel is all about. And he said, no, Q8, we understand. In fact, you give us very good feedback. Your criticism is constructive. And then what I do is actually, after I do the pre-release, I go and purchase the aircraft for me. So I purchase it so that it remains there, and I can also remain very fair in my assessment. And if you guys are, if anyone is starting a channel, I highly recommend that you do not accept free, free copies. I understand they can become very expensive, but it will influence you. We're human beings, and you'll be influenced one way or the other. So I highly recommend that you purchase the add-ons. If you cannot, for any reason, just wait until you can. No worries, Keith. Glad to have you here with us on the channel. All right. Let's get the altimeter. We're going to go to Las Vegas. The weather is 299.0. And there we go, 299.0. So let me set that 299.0. There we go. And cross-checked. Excellent. We can go to the checklist menu and a pro checklist. The briefing is complete. ECAM status is normal. These are sets, and the barrel is set. Okay, perfect. Very nice, huh? 2024 is, in some areas it looks just phenomenal, and in some other areas it looks terrible. But flying over California to Las Vegas is always a nice, very nice scenery. Right, all good here, all good there. Perfect. Yeah, so far performance-wise, things are pretty cool. I don't think that we've had any issues with the performance. The aircraft is still very buggy if you're not running it in Sim Update 1. Right, we're now reducing our speed. And I believe there is a restriction there, so that's 250, and we're going to remain 250 and then 210 here. So all is good. Perfect. I only watch him to get all my trolling. Just an honest question, don't you think the pricing model used on the iniBuilds A350 is a little bit off, considering actual value of the final product versus Phoenix or PMDG? Now, I honestly don't think that their product is overpriced, okay? Now, there are a lot of things that go into the formula of deciding the price. And that is the number of developers they have, the number of hours they put in. Obviously, all the developers working for iniBuilds are full-time developers, so it's not always, you know, the economies have to make sense. So, you know, after you sell, they estimate maybe they'll sell this many copies. That is going to translate into this many dollars or pounds. And then, you know, I've got to pay the salaries for the next 6 months and pay rent for the offices and what have you. And so it has to make business sense to them. That is why probably the price is a little bit higher. But there's a lot of things, guys, that go into the pricing of the aircraft. Obviously, the iniBuilds and like all the other developers are in business to make money. I recall the very first the PMDG aircraft was it? I can't recall, but how much is, for example, the 777 from PMDG? I know the Phoenix costs a lot less, but maybe it's a smaller team, and yeah, there's a lot of overheads for some of these companies, so they definitely need to account for those overheads. I think it's in line with other aircraft. Yeah, I think so. And yeah, remember that you have both variants. You have the 1000 and the 900. So $69.99 for the 777. Yeah, so the price I think is pretty much the same here. I think this one was $75. So 75 versus 69 or $70. I think, you know, it's justifiable for the amount of work that they've done, for the probably the hours that they've spent developing this aircraft. I think the price is very warranted. I don't think there's an issue with it. Here's another look, ladies and gents, at the beautiful mountains in Nevada as we approach Las Vegas. Here's again a beautiful look at the engines. I really like the wings of the A350. I think they're just great. PMDG would have released the 1000, then charged again for the 900. Yeah. Sorry guys, but this is 2024. Is this? Yes, this is 2024. The one thing I really like in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is the clouds. The clouds are just fantastic. Alright, I'm going to switch this to 20 nautical miles now as we get closer to Las Vegas. I think we'll be able to see the Las Vegas Strip on our way. We're actually, it's going to be to our left as we approach the airport. All of this from ones and zeros. I don't get it. Hello, Proxima. Welcome aboard. Both PMDG passengers 777WN, the factor is more than 130 together. Yeah, so again, it goes to say that the iniBuilds pricing is very fair, considering what you get. So the value for money that you get is right at par with, you know, other add-ons of the same fidelity, and definitely it's got a lot of potential. This A350, it's definitely up there with the, you know, with the top-notch add-ons for Microsoft Flight Sim. If I compare, for example, this aircraft to the now they're two very different aircraft and two very different sims, but not an apple-to-apple comparison. But if I look at the simulation aspect, or let me say the flight simulation perspective, and compare the iniBuilds A350 with the flight factor 777, I would give the points to the flight factor 777 without a doubt. Although that aircraft is still in beta, I think the level and then the depth of simulation in that aircraft is just insane. So, and I think we're seeing the depth of simulation that we've seen in the 777 is, in my view, even better than PMDG. Rotate did the same with the MD-11, and to be honest, I don't mind. They're all companies. They need to make money. If they eventually lose, yeah, for sure, they'll lose the devs. They've got bills to pay. You know, they've got, you know, children to feed. So that's all understood. And hey, it's a high fidelity aircraft. I mean, it's got great sounds, great flight model, great flight modeling, texturing, sounds, system simulation. The flight model, especially during landing, is something I just don't think is right. And you know, I was telling the moderators, Dougal, Drashal, and all those fine folks over in Discord, I don't care what the real pilots say. This aircraft flies like the A400. I've flown both aircraft in this sim. The flight model is identical. There isn't any difference in those. In fact, the A400 is a little bit more stable. This one is just way too touchy and too twitchy, and we'll see it. We'll see it. We need this aircraft on Xbox. How about the FF777 and PMG? Definitely the Flight Factor 777 wins that battle. Definitely. If we call it that. But yeah, the 777 by Flight Factor is one of the most advanced add-ons I have seen. The depth of simulation is just insane. And the aircraft receives regular updates. It's just really a wonderful, wonderful aircraft. Worth every penny. Although it's still in beta, it's still worth every penny in my view. Alright, we are approaching 10,000 feet, ladies and gents. We are going to turn on our landing lights. By the way, left the nose on takeoff there. That's alright. Let's see, everything here on auto, so we'll leave it on auto. And we are going to arm this. Now, we'll see here it says brake medium automatically here, so you don't really have to figure out anything. If you're on the ground, it's RTO. If you click it while up in the air, then it will automatically put it on brake medium. Alright, so we want to reduce our speed here. Let me just deploy the speed brakes here and help the aircraft reduce speed. There we go. Excellent. Looking good. And here is the Las Vegas Strip. Doesn't look very good. Looks like Gotham City. But that's Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 for you. Takes a while for things to load, and if you don't fly really close to the area, then you know you'll probably not see the buildings properly. But everything else is looking good. All right, so let me retract the speed brake. There we go. Actually, let's arm the speed brake here. Now this is really looking very, very good. No, the prices are fine, yeah. Here's a look at the outside as we approach Las Vegas. Man, the visual fidelity of Microsoft Flight Sim is just insane. And it's starting to look, you know, really, really good. I mean, look at this here. Look at this view. This looks really, really good, I have to say. Thank you very much there, Dougal. Appreciate it, my friend. All right, we're coming up now to 26 left at Las Vegas. Our next flight in this aircraft will use same tensions as well. Let me switch this to 10 nautical miles. That will give us a better view there. Wow. Looks really, really good, I have to say. So some areas in 2024 look great, and some look really, really bad. I've noticed that flying over the United States in 2024, for the most part, it looks pretty good. Right, here we are, descending again. There are a few restrictions along the way. Make a video on how to tweak your 2024 setting. I have a 4090 and I can't get more than 50 FPS. Really? Huh, that's strange. Something must be off. You should be able to get more than that. Alright, landing system. I don't know why it's not displaying here, but that's okay. Alright. There we go. We have the ILS now. We can see the glide slope and localizers. Alright. We're descending. Let's bring up the speed brakes here a little bit. Alright, I'm going to go to active perf and activate the approach, confirm, and let's go back to the flight plan. That will help us reduce our speed. There's the Las Vegas Strip right there, and that's the airport. Right, looking good. I'll keep the speed brakes for now. Right, speed check, flaps 1. Check out the sounds, guys. Look at the details. Wow. Very, very cool. Alright, and we're gonna go flaps 2. Let's go to approach. Flaps 2. And landing gear coming down. Wow, this sim is looking great, guys. Alright, you know what? Let's come over here. And let's record. Alright, I think we can retract the flaps now. And arm the speed brakes. Speed check flaps 3. Localizer captured. Cabin is ready. And let's go to flaps full. Landing checklist. Cabin crew are notified. Auto throttle. Auto brake set. Runway condition is set. And the landing checklist is complete. Hello, Benny. All right, guys. We are cleared to land. Runway 26 left.
2,500.
And everything's looking good. Check it out, guys. Check out this sim. Wow. That looks really good. The heat layer looks a bit funny. All right. We're looking good. Again, I don't think that we will have... the winds are calm here at Las Vegas, so I don't think we'll have any issues landing the aircraft, and it will be a good test for us to see how the flight model works. Again, very, very twitchy, at least on the tests that I've done earlier. Do you think your 4090 is strong enough? Yes, I think it's fine. Right, we're looking good. All right, 1,000 feet. Autopilot off my aircraft. Now I'm making very, very slight changes to the flight yoke because I don't want to, the slightest move will cause the aircraft to, there.
$500.
And you can see the aircraft rocking left and right. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep it straight. It's not very easy to keep this aircraft straight.
200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada. Reversers. 80 knots.
Auto brake off.
All right. Now, this airport looks very funny. So, what I'm going to do is we're going to find a spot to park the aircraft, and then we'll do the replay. I'll leave everything on. I'll leave all the flaps and everything, and then we'll just retract them later. Thank you very much, Rand. Thank you, guys. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Definitely not what Las Vegas International looks like, or Harry International looks like, with this kind of funny slope there, but yeah. And then you can see there the buildings look like they're demolished. But the approach was a rather beautiful approach. So yeah, we'll just bring the aircraft to a stop somewhere here. There are a few gates here, and then we'll do a replay, and we'll take a look at the landing. We will definitely do the replay. Thank you very much, Stefanos. Glad you enjoyed it, my friend. All right. All right. I'm going to also show you the passenger, the cabin lights during nighttime. So, all right. Let me just put the brake on here, and let's take a look at the replay. All right. So stop the recording, and we are going to click play. There we go. All right. So put this here. You can enjoy all the views now. Just look at how beautiful the sim is looking, guys. Very, very nice. I've noticed that with DLA, that the textures are much, much better. Maybe bring it a bit further. There. Where we disconnected the autopilot. And there you have it, ladies and gents. Yeah. What did you guys think of that? Let's play it again here. From a different angle. And I'll do it one more time for you guys with the wing view. No, this one. Yeah, that's the one we want. Let's click play. And that's an extra replay there for your viewing pleasure. Yeah, obviously the animations don't work during replay, which is okay. Alright, so take control. You know, I think I think that I think we have to kind of steer the aircraft again. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to take the aircraft back to and park it again. All right, that's okay. Very nice sounds there with the flaps. And if you've been on the A350, you'll notice that it's the sounds are actually pretty accurate. All right, so that's already retracted. Okay, we'll just bring it. So I do want to show you guys the night lighting, because I think it looks really nice. So let me no, that's not it. There we go. Let's change the time. There we go. God, the night lighting in Microsoft Flight Sim looks terrible. All right. Just looks so bad. But the aircraft lights look very nice, so that's what we'll do here. All right, let me turn on the APU here real quick. Okay. Parking brake set. And let me show you the cabin, because I think it's worth looking at during nighttime. Look at that, guys. Yeah. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Even the stars, by the way, this is something you'll see on the A350 and on the A380. Something very kind of indigenous to Airbus. So yeah, I think the lighting of the cabin is done very, very well. It's very nice. Yeah, there you go. I think you get the idea. Yeah, very nice lighting all around the aircraft. Very nice details, really. Overall, I mean, again, if you think of this, I mean, look at that. I mean, this looks really, really good. Yeah. All right, so let's see here. We can turn on the APU bleed, and we can kill the engines. There we go. And we can change the time back to real time. Why is smoke coming from underneath the aircraft? Huh. Something is off. Ah, the brakes are hot. That's why. Preferred chocks. Okay. Well, that's cool. The brakes are hot and we can see the smoke coming out. Isn't that cool? I think it's something to do with the replay that we've done. Okay, so if we go to ground, we can connect to the ground power and set the chocks, and we can release the brakes. There we go. All right, so one of you guys wanted to, by the way, if you click here on GSX,
is too small for your aircraft.
Yeah, it's too small. All right, let me see
this
if I
parking
can.
is too small for this parking.
There
is
we
too
go.
Small for your
So it took a
aircraft.
few times for me to turn it on and off, but now you can actually go to reposition the aircraft. So it says air cargo, parking, 3 suitable parkings. So we're gonna go, all of these are too small, and ramp, all right, parking 27, just wrap me there. All right, so we just brought the aircraft to another position here, and I just wanted to really show you the GSX integration and how it works, and it works really well. Then you can also have the, I believe this is an air conditioning unit. So if we click here, now we have the other equipment connected to the aircraft. So obviously the brakes are still hot, which is cool that they've simulated this, and you can see the smoke. So again, there are some details in this buggy. Same brake bug like the 777 after using replay. Yeah, but it's nice to see that they've actually simulated this smoke. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, and then you can actually go to the maintenance. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go to EFB and let's go to maintenance. And now you can actually open the cowling for the engines. So if you look here now, you see that you have the engine. Let me switch real quick to what did I do here? What I've done. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Okay, so I'm just going to walk to this so you can again see the details. There you go. Look at that. Again, look at the details there. That's pretty cool. There's a better look there. Very, very nice indeed. And of course you can open you can refill, you can see the hydraulic now and the deploy stow rat. Let me show you this one here. So if we go here and say deploy and stow the rat, you can see it right there. See it there? It's right there. So I think if we simulate a dual engine failure, you'll see the rad deploy automatically, the ram air turbine. And then of course you can click here to, let me see if we can go to ground and toggle slide. Let's see, let me open these doors. Right, so now this opens the doors, so you can again interact graphically. And let's say toggle. All right, let's see. They toggle. I don't see him. Yeah, I think they're coming on and off. Let me look at here one more time. Yeah, they're not deploying. But yeah. Well, guys, my concluding remarks on the iniBuilds A350 is that it's a great add-on for Microsoft Flight Sim. It is a little bit buggy, and I'm a little bit taken back by the fact that it released with a lot of issues, and that a beta version of Microsoft Flight Sim is required to run the aircraft in a semi-error-free manner. Meaning, is the aircraft in beta? I don't know. But definitely an aircraft that has a lot of potential. It's got a great attention to detail in terms of the flight modeling, the texturing. The sounds are definitely there with the with the high quality add-ons. Overall, the pricing isn't exaggerated. I think they've done a reasonable job putting a reasonable price to make this aircraft accessible to most of us in the community, not all. Again, I was not able to simulate the integration with Navigraph because I'm using the official release of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, so there were a few features we were not able to explore. Obviously, there are still some bugs. Clicking on the getting company routes and ATC menus from the CDU causes the sim to freeze in 2024. So overall, I think this is a very good add-on for Microsoft Flight Sim, and I hope that the development team over at iniBuilds continues the development and the refinement and the optimizations of this to make it one of the greatest, if not the greatest, aircraft. But in order for it to be given the title the best aircraft, it's going to take a lot more than that by the Q8 pilot standards. So with that thought, I will leave you guys in peace, and until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and have a lovely evening. Bye-bye for now.